Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to continue our series of Korean banchan or side dishes. And today's primary focus is going to be on pan-fried fritters or jeon. Now I'm going to show you 3 simple ones made with fillings that you'd often make for dumplings. They're really delicious, so if you're ready, let's get started. So let's start with the filling. Today's filling is going to be the same one that I use to make my Korean dumplings, and I actually have the link above if you want to check that out. But I have ground pork and ground beef, and to this I'm adding tofu. This is a little bit over half a package of tofu that I've used paper towel to kind of squeeze out the excess water. A little bit crumbled, now it goes in here. All right, so we've got the beef and the pork and the tofu. To this, we're gonna add our other aromatics. So we've got about 6 scallions, and let's just do a few at a time. We're going to cut them into thin slices here, chop it. Okay, so I've chopped all my scallions and they go in the bowl here. We're also going to add Korean chives. About 1 bunch. I'm just gonna cut off the end. Whoops, here we go. These also get sliced really thinly. The chives and the scallion add such a nice flavor to the dumpling filling. Okay, these are my green chives. You can find them in Asian markets. Most regular grocery stores don't have these just yet, so you are gonna have to go to the Asian market for this. All right, now if you don't have the Korean chives, add more scallions, the green part of it, and it'll be just fine. Okay, next is the ginger and the garlic. I have about 6 to 7 large garlic. I'm gonna just quickly peel get rid of the peel. All right, I've peeled all the garlic and now I'm going to mince it really fine. All right, there goes the garlic. All right, the last thing is ginger. Now this is just about a tablespoon of ginger, or 1 inch. I'm just gonna quickly grate this, and that goes also into the filling. There goes the ginger. Okay, so I've grated about 1 inch of the ginger. Now that's gonna go in here as well. All right. Now the last thing that goes in are the seasonings. So we've got sesame oil, we have soy sauce, black pepper, and we have some salt. Okay, now I'm going to just use my hand to mix it all in. It smells really delicious already. All right, so filling is all mixed in. It's well incorporated. Now this is done. I'm gonna set this aside in the refrigerator, and I'll take it out when I'm ready to stuff my jeon. So stay tuned. Okay, as I said, we're making beef jeon or gogi jeon, and 3 versions of it. So the first one, what I wanted to show you is basically Korean stuffed peppers. These are Korean peppers that you can find at Asian markets. If you can't find these, Anaheim peppers work really well because they're kind of big. And what I've done is I've cut them in half, and I've removed all of the seeds. Now they're a little bit wet because what you need to do is you're going to dip the the wet pepper in flour, okay? You're gonna kinda dredge it in flour like this, all right? And then you're gonna take your filling and you're gonna fill the inside of the pepper with the beef filling, all right? And then we're gonna dredge it a little bit more with flour and set it aside. So it kind of looks like this. I'm gonna just sprinkle a little bit of flour on top, just like that. All right, that's 1. We're gonna fill up our peppers, just like this. Okay, so my peppers are all stuffed. They look like this, okay? They've all been floured. Now, next is the perilla leaves, or 깻잎. Now, this is a very unique flavor. It's part of the mint family. I actually made a video of seasoned perilla leaves as one of the banchan. Very simple dish. If you wanna check that out, I have a link for that as well. Anyway, we're gonna use a perilla leaf this time to make like a little patty. It's delicious. So I've wet this. I've rinsed this 깻잎, but I haven't patted it dry because I need it to be a little wet. So we're gonna do the same thing. We're going to put it in flour, so you get a little bit of the flour coating on here, and then you're going to do the same thing, add a little bit of the filling, the beef filling in here, and this time you're going to fold it in half. You could do either way. You can do the long version or the side version. Whatever suits your fancy, I guess. Anyway, I'm gonna go the long way and I'm gonna fold it in half and I'm gonna kind of pat it down just to flatten it a little bit. So I'm gonna do that with the rest of my gennip. By the way, all of the jeon that I'm making are very often eaten as bar food, or in Korean culture is called anju. These are like foods that you would eat when you're drinking soju or beer and things like that. Now we're making the beef jeon or the beef fritters, but you can make this with seafood, you can make it with vegetables, really, really versatile. Now, a lot of people might ask, can you freeze this? And the answer is no, because when you freeze the peppers and the perilla leaves, and then you thaw it, the texture changes and the flavor changes a little bit. So this one is gonna be one where you wanna make and eat right away. Okay, so last version of it, the simplest version, in my opinion, is just, you're gonna take the filling and you're going to make it into balls, kind of like you're making meatballs. Okay, you're gonna round it out and kind of flatten it a little bit. So you make little patties and then you're gonna dredge it in flour, just like this, and set it aside because that's going to get pan fried. Really simple, right? So if you don't have the perilla leaves and you don't have the peppers, you can do this. Okay, on to the next step. So I floured all of my jeons and now they're going to be dipped in egg and then pan fried. So I've got my pan on medium, and make sure you have enough oil so that it doesn't stick. All right, so let's start with our gennip ones first. So I'm going to take each one individually and I'm going to dip it in my egg wash, just like that. And put it in here. It's going to be a little messy, but it's going to be worth it. These get cooked for about 2 to 3 minutes. And because there's not that much filling in there, it should cook pretty quickly. All right, so my flame is a little bit on the lower end because I want it to cook slow and steady. I don't want this to burn. So let's take a look at the first side. Oh, look how pretty that looks. Oh my gosh. Smells good too. All right, you guys, so it's been about 3 minutes. I've been keeping an eye on it. So let me show you the bottom of one of these. See the nice color on both sides? They're ready to come out. I'm just gonna put them on a rack here so that it doesn't get soggy on the bottom. All right, next are the peppers. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to put the egg wash on top. I might need to transfer the egg into like a thinner plate here to make it work better, but here we go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the meat side down first. If I can do this carefully. Here we go. Just like that. Again, it's slow and steady so we don't burn this, okay? All right, let's take a look and see what it looks like on the other side. Ooh, look at that. Nice. Now this one's gonna take a little bit longer to cook because the filling is on the inside of the pepper as well, a little bit deeper. There we go. That's looking nice. I'm gonna lower the heat a little bit so it cooks slowly on the inside. All right, so what I decided to do is put a lid on it because the outside is cooking a little bit fast, the inside not quite there, so I'm going to help it along by putting a lid on it so it steams a bit. Now what I'm going to have to do is going to flip it back later on to get the meat part a little bit crispy again. Okay, it's done. I'm going to turn off the heat here. What I remember, I had put the lid on it to steam cook a little bit so the inside was definitely cooked through. Then I flipped it back over so that the meat part will be nice and crunchy here. And that looks good. Let's lay, ooh, don't want to lose any of these. Smells divine. Can't wait to taste these. All right, there are my stuffed peppers. Okay, the last thing are the patties itself. Remember, they were floured. I'm gonna just dip it in my egg wash, just like that, and then put it on the pan. All right, so I've done the same thing with these little beef jeon, or the patties, fritters. I put a lid on it so it can steam slightly. Okay, now I'm turning it over. Okay, they're done. Now, if you can tell, there's one that's in the middle that's missing. That's because we tasted it to make sure it was cooked through. And they're cooked through. So now they come out. Okay, all finished. Doesn't it look so nice? All right, so to be fair, I probably won't taste all of it, but I'm gonna go ahead and just take one. And I'm gonna take the pepper one because it's easy to grab. Now you might be noticing what's with the red peppers. Now we just did it for the garnish and for the pictures. I know it's not traditional, so you know, it was just for that. Okay, the dip is very simple. It's soy sauce, white wine vinegar or regular vinegar, and some sesame seed. I'll have the recipe for the dip in the description below. All right, let's give it a quick taste. It's so delicious. The meat filling is savory, the pepper, a little bit of kick, not too spicy at all. I need to have another bite. This is really, really good. It's a very simple recipe, remember? The filling, you can make it to make dumplings, but if you have leftovers, you can make it this way. If you want to try other versions with seafood, with vegetables, anything goes, whatever you want to do. Now remember, I mentioned this can also go for as a bar food or anju. So here's my soju. Pairs perfectly. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like, share, and leave comments. And please subscribe and press that notification bell so you'll be notified when I upload my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.